Welcome for more of this. I wonder, let's check the bleeding doctor thing out as well. Can we give her some pills? Maybe she'll know.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Alright.
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupre.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupre does not need to be agitated any further.
I take it you don't look very favorably upon him, then.
I'll just say this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean. Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Okay, that's girl. Her. Does she know where the hunting cabin is?
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Do you want some pills? Oh, no.
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often.
Oh.
He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
Alright, let's head on up to there.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Yeah, sure. Get back to doing work. I have places to visit. That place apparently.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Alligators as well.
Strange of Dupre to leave the door unlocked. Maybe it means he'll be returning soon.
Yeah, or that it's in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, maybe you would not leave it unlocked considering these.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently.
Yeah, so let's take the other two. No.
You really have to wonder about someone who chooses to surround themselves with dead things.
It's just the same for all of them, right?
I had a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child. One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest. An absolute bore.
Apparently I'm not the only one with bad puns.
Are these even native to New Britannia?
Probably not.
Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures.
Nothing that burned.
Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear.
So it's this place then. Let's go with that
Satchels,
first.
boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting. It seems Mr. Dupre is a Bollingworth man. Maybe he's not so bad after all.
Thought it looked like that. That's nothing. All right, let's do that. And in he comes.
Let's see if Jean has anything interesting in here.
Not
With
very
a gun.
much, except a letter.
Okay. Yeah, a classic. Pause. Don't quite understand what they mean with this. One attempt to win a life is quite enough.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean Dupre, I presume?
Yes, that's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the attempted murder of your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Forgive my rudeness, but you startled me.
Perfectly understandable, Mr. Dupre.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
Clearly, yes. It's just, oh, I'll trust you just because you say that. Of course I do. I mean, why wouldn't I? Yeah.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Oh, my dear wife.
Your wife?
The past few days have been just awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
Voila.
Lord, does he actually expect anyone to believe that nonsense?
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Dupre, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me? Who are you to lecture me on my marriage?
A fellow married man,
Perhaps.
that's who. Your wife has just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
I got a doctor
There was
for
a confusion at the house with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor. I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
Sure.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something. And for once, I don't think it's from his wife.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to take one look at him to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
I'm almost convinced I could do a better sort of a semi-French accent because he's got a bit of a French-German going, I would
I
say.
suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Dupre?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
The business of stepchildren?
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together.
Yeah, that's why
but
we like
they're
you.
both so
Each
busy
other.
with school.
What?
I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses, excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Dupre avoids his family on purpose. But why?
Booze. Good reason enough.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre trying to get Juliet taken out of her classes at the university?
Ah, yes. Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal. I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs. If she wants to study, she should be free to do so. I wrote them a letter myself, without Laura's knowledge, telling them to disregard the previous request for withdrawal.
That's very good of you.
Yes, well, I dislike seeing people being told what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants at his home. Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
We
I'll be going
sure
now.
Au
are.
revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Au revoir. Double click. So that's that. Who the hell are we to talk with now and about what? We never got to ask about the letter. Right, let's talk to her about it though.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Good. The letter. Yeah.
Did your mother try to get you withdrawn from the university?
Yeah, we
As a
did.
matter of fact,
do
she
that.
did.
Come to think
Just
of it.
another one of the many ways she tried interfering with my life.
What happened, exactly?
Mother wrote the university requesting that I be withdrawn. I found out about it when the enrollment office contacted me. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought it was some sort of mistake, but then they showed me the letter.
I take it you were upset.
More than upset, Mr. Fordham. I was furious. I was trying to make a real life for myself. One that wasn't about dresses or debutante balls or fending off suitors. I'd been given the chance to make something of myself, and Mother was ready to bring it all crashing down, just because she didn't agree with it.
But in the end, you're still here.
Yes, Jean stepped in and fixed everything. He didn't have to do it, but it was very good of him. I'm afraid that was the beginning of the end of my relationship with Mother. We never really managed to fix things after that.
Okay.
No more questions for
New
now.
clue.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Fordham, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No.
Wait, what am I saying? Of course you are.
I am?
Madame Dupre has been interfering with Juliet's studies and disapproved of her relationship with Martin, hence they're falling out. Plus, the information in Juliet's notes about ethericity, putting animals into a death-like trance, seems awfully suspicious.
Yeah, but it's not her.
It's enough to establish both means and motive. That's plenty to consider her a suspect.
Yeah, it's not her. What was I thinking about? Letter to Sean. Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah. So that's that. That I can't see anything new with. Nothing there. Let's head on over there and see if there's something new. Why not? Might as well.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Nothing new, or wrap up case? No.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Jean Dupre isn't talking very much. I think he's hiding something.
Well, you have a knack for making people divulge their secrets.
There has to be something that'll make him talk. Perhaps I should check with those close to him. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back to it.
Will do, because I am not putting her in jail. Talk to those close, so that would be I'd talk to her. Can't be anything new because of that, is there? Yeah, let's try it. Why not? Let's give it a go at
She's
least.
busy. That's not to bother her
Right.
until we have something to ask her.
That is good. That you don't waste time going over there and then find out that there's nothing new. Talk
This
to
quack
him.
hasn't gotten
Right.
anything more for us to learn right now.
You are just sitting there, so double click. Hi.
As amusing as it is to chat,
Okay, let's try that then. Double click. There's
Amelie?
something new.
Yes? What is it? We mustn't be seen talking.
Why?
Anything you can tell me about Jean?
I hardly ever see him. Only at dinner. He's scared of Madam, and so he finds any reason to get out of the house and stay away as long as he can.
Scared of her?
Okay.
Oh, it's true. You should see him when they're in private. Like a shamed puppy that dirtied the carpet.
interesting.
Hmm.
Do you have any idea why Jean is so afraid of Madame Dupre?
If he's seen the same things we have, then yes.
What kind of things?
Exactly.
No, I spoke out of
No.
turn. Forget I said anything.
Give her drugs.
Amelie, listen to me. A potentially innocent man's life is on the line. If I don't find out who attacked Madame Dupre, he's as good as dead. So if there are any facts or details you know that I don't, you need to tell me.
I can't.
Drug her.
You can.
Come on,
I'm
you
not
got
with
drugs.
the police. If Madame Dupre did something wrong, I'm not going to look the other way. Trust me, I'm on your side.
Madam beats the servants. I think she even does it for fun. I hear the screams sometimes. I don't know how anyone else in the family doesn't. Maybe they do and just ignore it. I don't know. But if Mr. Dupre knows what she do, it explains why he's so scared of her.
Okay.
Did Madame Dupre ever abuse you?
No, I was lucky, but some of the others weren't.
Like who? I need details, Amelie.
The old gardener,
Gardener, yeah.
Guy Dumas,
Oh,
and one of the
gardener.
maids, Celine. I saw Madam going after them the most. Don't know what they did to deserve it, but I would see her walk by in a rage, whip in one hand and a book in the other.
A book? What book?
Oh, I don't know. I can't read, so I don't know what it said on the cover.
Color? Oh,
But it's the same color as the stew spice I always use. Don't know what she used it for, but she always had it with her, just before a beating.
Maybe she'd recite them some of her terrible poetry. I'm sure that was torture enough.
Yeah, probably. Alright, so we need to find an orangey book, orange-yellow type of a thing.
Tell me more about Guy and Celine.
They were deeply in love with each other. I used to hear them talk about how they wanted to run away together.
What happened to them?
I don't know. One day they were here, and then one day they weren't.
Do you think Madame Dupre may have done something to them?
I couldn't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she had. Please, let's not talk about this anymore.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
I think there will be some extra corpses in the graveyard, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, we need to head on upstairs. And into there, right? So maybe we'll open up a secret entrance with the piano, though. Or then into a torture chamber, soundproofed. So I'm guessing this one.
Well, this should be the book Amelie mentioned. Well, what have we here?
Okay.
A whip. And it has dried blood on it. How ghastly.
This house is just full of secrets, isn't it?
Clues being added. Right. Bloody whip. Presumably used for that, yes. Oh, that's that, yeah. Why did she carry around the book? I don't quite get that bit. Alright, yeah, close. Nothing else over here, right? No. So downstairs. Nothing with him, right? Or
I have some questions.
yes, there is something with him now. Why do you not hear things? Oh,
Did you know Guy Dumas?
The old gardener? Sure, I knew him. We didn't talk very much. He was just a servant after all, but he seemed like a nice man. He stopped coming around about 2 months ago. Too bad, really. He did a good job of keeping the gardens looking nice. The new one is alright, but he just doesn't have that special touch Guy did.
Were you familiar with a servant named Celine?
Yes, I believe she was one of the maids. I didn't talk to her very much. Oh, she quit not so long ago. At least I assume she did. I haven't seen her in about 3 months.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
And him, Dr. Bloke Dude thing?
This quack hasn't gotten any...
You're just stationary, alright. You can't just whip her a bit and wake her up then. Maybe. Yeah, let's talk to her again then.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Do you know Guy Dumas?
Yes, he was one of our servants. He used to enjoy reading my books, as well as Andrew's.
When did you see him last?
Just last week. He came by to see me and asked to borrow some books.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Not really. I get the impression that he moves around frequently. But I can tell him you're looking for him next time I see him, if you like.
Please do. Although hopefully I'll be able to find him before then. Were you friends with Celine, the maid?
Yes, I was quite fond of Celine. She was so sweet and interesting to talk to. One day, she just left the house with no explanation. Mother said it was because she had found work elsewhere. I was terribly saddened. I wish I'd had the chance to say goodbye to her, at least. What's your interest in her?
Oh, I was just curious, that's all. No more questions for now.
Well, no, if it's her
Then if you
blood on
don't
this
mind,
whip.
I have work to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause a bit because I need to fill up the glass. Be right back. So, we're out of here then. And let's go over and talk to key folks over here. Well, it was... No, that's
Mr. Fordham,
Sean.
you're back.
Dupre. Come to think of it, it wasn't Guy something.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you fear your wife, Mr. Dupre?
Do I... what?
The question's quite simple. Are you afraid of Madame Dupre?
Why in the East would you think that?
This here bloody whip.
I'd be afraid of someone who kept a bloody whip in my bedroom. Care to explain that?
You don't know her like I do. No one does. Well, no one aside from the servants, I suppose. She's cruel, Mr. Fordham. Crueler than anyone or anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Tell me more about Madame Dupre's cruelty.
She treats the servants like animals, Mr. Fordham. She would say the most vile, awful things to them. Things I would expect to hear on the Gascon docks, not from the lips of a grande dame. And the beatings. Oh, God. The screams I would hear from somewhere in the house. I never dared find out where.
Nobody else ever heard the screaming?
No. She was cunning. She would do it when no one else was around. Once she knew I had heard, she threatened me. Told me she would...
Yes?
She threatened to expose my secret, Mr. Fordham.
And what secret is that?
Our marriage
He's
is one
gay.
of convenience. It's all for show. Laura has herself a well-to-do husband, and I am a normal man in the eyes of society.
I see.
Trans,
I suppose that would explain a few things.
Well, now, how was that not obvious to you? The soporific is really having a bad effect on you.
Don't worry, Mr. Dupre. Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham.
It's not secret with me, though. Gay! Sorry. Yeah, right. Let's go there.
Tell me what you know about Guy Dumas and Celine.
Celine had an accident.
What kind of accident?
Laura thought
deadly
Celine
kinds.
had been stealing her silverware. She got a bit carried away with a beating, and
Dupre killed Celine?
yes, she did. In order to keep it quiet, she had Celine placed in our family tomb.
Yeah, I thought so.
I see. What about Guy?
I don't know. I never saw him again after that.
Well, this case has certainly taken a turn for the sinister.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Okay, let's head on out of here and to I'm guessing the cop should be up by now, but he's not. Alright, good. We punched him properly upon a double click. So, which has recently been open then?
John Patrick Chesterton.
Idiot. Yeah,
17.
we know. There should be probably a pointy finger if... There isn't. Okay, maybe you look at
These
them and
crypts
see.
are reserved for future generations of Chestertons.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to these crypts. Then let's hope these crypts.
There are only
Then let's hope the
Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 18.
This must be what was going to be
Yeah,
Madame
we
Dupre.
I
know.
don't see anything inside.
What? Were you expecting a note from her attack?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue. Douglas Chesterton, 1790. William Arthur Chesterton. John
Yeah, I
Patrick.
did that already. I was thinking maybe if you
Desmond Chesterton,
look at them,
1745.
he sees. Oh, there are
Celine,
some scratches around that.
1823
Looks
to 18
freshly
Wait a minute.
opened.
This is Celine, the maid.
Oh. Ah, she did that. I would have buried her with one of the old corpses, but apparently not. All right.
Somehow a piece of paper got wedged into the side of the vault.
Yeah, take it then. Use tweezers. Not sure what that would be. Even the screw it, let's try tweezers. I'm not sure why that would help. It would make it less I mean, that would be grabbing just a corner. The hand would take all of the paper. So, pull on it.
It's no good. I can't get a decent grip on the paper to pull it out.
Alright, tweezers then.
Carefully now.
Oh, read it. Yeah, click. Pull.
Got it. Nice work, Fordham. Now to see what this is.
Pay.
Interesting.
Pay for what she did
Leaving
to
notes
your
for the
mother.
dead.
Oh!
Very touching. Wonder if anyone has left me one at my grave.
Quiet, Bill. I need to think.
So that's
We know
from
this note is likely from
Guy, then.
Guy. Now
Yeah,
we just
or
need
Guy.
to figure out where to find him.
Is there anything on the other side of that piece of paper?
Bill, you're a genius.
I wouldn't give me all the credit just yet.
Let's see. A receipt for an extended stay at the Stun Arms. Does that sound familiar at all?
Vaguely. But I can't recall anything off the top of my head.
Looks like we'll have to do a bit more searching.
I don't know, Master Arms something? Would we talk to her about that, maybe? No, her. That's what I'm thinking about. Do you know of a Stun Arms?
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Yeah, right. Review case.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Yeah.
I found this note in the Chesterton tomb. I think it was left by the person who attacked Madame Dupre.
Nice work. Sounds like
What?
you're about ready to wrap things up.
I will be as soon as I find him. Take a look at the other side of it.
Part of a receipt for a hotel?
Yes, but the name is only partially visible at the bottom.
Stun Arms.
At the top, not the bottom.
The only hotel that comes to mind is the Boston Arms in Chumley.
Of course! I knew the name sounded familiar. The stories I could tell you about that place. Not right now, of course.
You're helpful as always, Upton. Thank you.
Good luck, Fordham. I hope you find your suspect.
I do not
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
think he's guilty either, to be honest. No, I'm not
That's it,
wrapping
I
up the
think.
case.
then you'd better get back.
Yeah, I am getting back to it. As soon as the animation stops. Out of here. Boston Arms is probably... Oh, there. Available now is what I wanted to say. Be gentle, be forceful, be discreet. Gentle.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. It's extremely important I speak with you, Mr. Dumas.
Private investigator. What do you want?
Just to talk. May I come in?
Yes, I suppose so.
Let's start off with looking at the paintings
I
and
found
stuff.
your note in St. Denis Cemetery. Care to explain what it means?
How did you...
I'm a private investigator, Mr. Dumas. That's what I do. Now we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. It's up to you.
I left that note for Celine. I didn't think anyone would ever find it.
So it was you who attacked Madame Dupre.
Yes. Yes, it was me. I confess.
I can't remember the last time a suspect actually confessed. If only they were all like this.
But
him.
please, Mr. Fordham, you have to understand. The woman is evil. If only you knew what she did. Please, don't arrest me, Mr. Fordham. You have to know the truth about Madame Dupre.
Yes.
Relax, Mr. Dumas.
Spill the beans.
I'm not going to arrest you just yet. I'm perfectly willing to hear your side of the story. Now let's take this nice and slow.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She seemed like a nice woman at first, but after working for her, I came to know how awful she truly was. When no one was around, she would beat me and some of the other servants for fun, say the most cruel things, call us horrible names.
Okay.
Why didn't you just leave?
She threatened us, told us she would make it impossible for us to get work anywhere else. It's already difficult enough getting a job that doesn't force you to operate those awful machines. To be blacklisted by Madame Dupre would have been the final nail in the coffin.
How did you come to be employed by Madame Dupre?
I used to work in an iron factory in Chumley, but a few years ago, they brought in some steam machines to help production. One of the machines had a problem, and my friend Connor and I were assigned to fix it. We had no idea what we were doing, but we wanted to keep our jobs. I don't know what happened, but the next thing I knew, Connor was dead, and I was badly hurt. I swore never to go near one of those machines again. After I got better, I spent a few months looking for work, but it was impossible to find any jobs that didn't involve steam tech. Then I found out about Madame Dupre. Working at her home seemed like an improvement. I had a decent bed to sleep in. The work was not difficult, and I even made friends with her daughter. But Madame Dupre soon showed her true nature.
He's got a nice accent, come to think of it.
Tell me about Celine.
Oh, my dear Celine. She was the most beautiful thing I ever saw.
Sounds very natural.
We were going to get married, you know. Then that devil killed her. She beat her to death in front of me. I was powerless to do anything. Please, Mr. Fordham, I don't want to remember. Let us speak of something else.
Do you know Albert Martin?
No.
Who's that? Oh,
who is that?
That's him, yeah.
He's
the
Juliet's lover,
suspect.
falsely accused of the crime you committed.
I had no idea.
Are you going to let an innocent man die because of what you did?
Yes.
No.
What?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I suppose things got out of hand. It was not my intention for someone else to take the blame for my actions.
Yeah.
So why did you attack Madame Dupre in the way you did?
I knew that if I went to her home and killed her, I would be caught and thrown in jail. I needed to find a way to do it quietly and not make anyone suspicious. Also, I wanted her to suffer for what she did to my Celine. I had read about toxic plants in Juliet's schoolbooks, and I knew a bit about them from working as a gardener. So I decided to poison Dupre and make her appear dead so she could be buried alive and suffer the same way she made us when she would lock us away in her secret room.
Yeah, now we get to hear what tune to play.
Did you say secret room?
Yes, Mr. Fordham.
Dixie.
It was no bigger than a coffin. She would place us inside if she was especially mad at us, with no food or water, sometimes for days at a time. We couldn't scream because she would stuff our mouths. She would also plug our ears and cover our faces.
How often did she put you in there?
Only a few times, but that was more than enough. I'd rather not think about it.
So you have no idea where it is?
None. I only remember Madame Dupre would say the same thing any time she was about to put someone in there. A perfect servant must behave. I've told you everything, Mr. Fordham. Are you still going to arrest me?
I haven't quite decided yet, Mr. Dumas. If I can find this secret room, it would be enough to charge Madame Dupre with a crime. However, if you haven't been telling me the truth...
I have been, Mr. Fordham. I swear it. I'll even make you a deal. If you promise me you'll try to find the secret room, I won't leave this hotel.
Okay.
All right, Dumas. It's a deal.
Well, at least now we can go straight to Upton and have him taken in. Unless you really do believe him about the secret room.
I know there's a secret room and we need to play a specific song to open it
That's
up.
all for right now, but I'll be back.
Yes, Mr. Fordham.
Or
I'll be here.
maybe not a song, but notes in the correct order.
Seems to be what passes for a dresser around here. Either that or Dumas is secretly a pirate.
Yeah, I'm guessing with a pirate. I'm going with pirate. Oh yeah,
There's
what's
one thing
painting?
I can't stand. It's crooked paintings.
Let's look at it
There's
again.
one thing I can't.
Oh, that's the same.
It appears someone is due for 7 years of bad luck. A wash basin? When did this place get so fancy?
Oh yeah, that's fancy as hell, isn't it? You right? Yeah, let's call that an episode. By the way, thanks for watching. Take care. See you. Have fun.